back to my Q&A series. Today we have a question that I pulled from the comments section. This question was placed on a video that I had made about the lot of accusation and illness, which is one of the ancient Hermetic lots. This person has their lot of accusation and illness, which I personally call the lot of affliction. This, to the best of my understanding and research so far, is where we, despite our very best efforts, and I have found that people work extremely hard in this area of their life, despite the best efforts and really truly implementing all of the known remedies and all of this, people face continual and repetitive hardship. It may be the case that an individual must accept that this hardship will be continuous and is not going to be remedied in the span of their life. So it can create like a problem that is unsolvable. Now, I've been actively researching this point on a daily basis for about 3 years, but that is not long enough to know if there's a remedy for the point. But based on my observations so far, there is not. I am very devoted to better understanding this point. So the person wrote, I have my lot of accusation and illness in the 10th house. The 10th house is our public life recognition that we receive from our work. It can describe authority figures who oversee our work or our ability to rise into a leadership or authority as ourselves. So this person wrote, I'm always changing jobs. I get bored easily. I always burn bridges with my managers unintentionally. I feel like it's a never-ending cycle. What this person is describing is what I would expect from someone who has their lot of accusation and illness in the 10th house. I would not recommend actually changing jobs a lot. Changing jobs is not likely to yield better results, actually. No matter what job a person has, they're likely to be a lot of accusation and illness. They're likely to be accused, for example, of things that they may have done in the workplace, even though they didn't actually do these things. The 10th house is like public acclaim, you know, like a person with like a great 10th house. Maybe they got Jupiter and Venus there and their sun there. Like that person is likely to be famous. They're, you know, likely to have like crowds of people just like clapping, cheering them on. Like, you know, we see this for a lot of famous people. When you have a difficult point there, you're likely to experience sort of the opposite. Like you're likely to experience the lack of recognition, the lack of praise, the lack of being recognized. You could face harsher criticisms, for example, from supervisors. I would recommend blend into the background. You're probably not going to get like the Employee of the Month award. Try to just not draw any attention to yourself, because attention drawn to you in the workplace is more likely to be negative attention. Attempts to draw attention to yourself are likely to yield poor results. If you have a secure job, I would work quietly and consistently according to whatever the job description is. I would not try to go for the promotion. If they're looking for people to volunteer to give a public presentation, I would just stay quiet. Question will be below in the description. They said, I feel like this is a never-ending cycle. I'm 40 years old and I feel like giving up. I understand that feeling. I'll talk later in another video about my own lot of affliction. Acceptance is the way. If you're 40 years old, you've been working long enough to understand what kinds of patterns and themes tend to transpire. The best thing that you can do is accept that that's about the type of energy in the workplace that you can expect going forward, and accept that this is your lot. Accept that this is sort of your like God-given affliction. This is the area of life where you work hard and you don't get the results that you wish for. And everybody has a lot of affliction somewhere. So this person asks, Does this mean that I have to be self-employed and start my own business? Help! So self-employment may or may not be a solution to lot of affliction in the 10th house. If you're starting a business and the business requires like a lot of marketing, you need to kind of put yourself out there on social media, you need people to see you as being competent and successful and all this, then you're gonna run into the same problems, because anything that involves sort of being seen as like highly successful and competent and strong and inspirational, by the public is not gonna work out well. However, if you could start a business and the business was like selling physical products or something, and it wasn't about you, like it didn't require you to be seen in a favorable way, but it only required the product to be seen in a favorable way, that could work. Like that could actually be really successful. But just keep in mind, you may not get recognition for building the business, for example. You could maybe, but like I definitely wouldn't expect that. If your second house is positive or contains a positive planet or is pretty well placed, then focusing on work that allows you to earn an income, or creating your own business, or focusing on jobs that are highly lucrative and kind of letting the money making aspect be your guide could actually be a solution to this. So rather than, I suppose, trying to like advance your position or get recognition from superiors or from the public, if you make it more about saving to buy a house, or you make it more about the material gain part, that could be a way forward. If your second house is not good, but your 6th house is good, you could focus on cultivating work that is of service to others. Let it be about the good that you're doing for other people and serving a higher purpose in the world, rather than at sort of advancing your resume or advancing your career. A possible way to sort of like astrological magicize like this could be somehow involving yourself in work related to those who are accused, or related to those who are ill, or somehow being known, and this, I know this may sound odd, but somehow being known for your affliction. I'm thinking of like Martha Stewart, I'm pretty sure that was her name, and I'm pretty sure she committed fraud or something like that and then went to jail, and then I think she like came out of jail and she was like, I committed fraud and like here's why, and I think she became more famous. Like for example, creating a business, and the business is about those who feel afflicted in the workplace, and you're like educating them on how to approach the workplace from a confident place, to play it like a game and get where they want to go, or something like that. Like a business related to a feeling afflicted in the pursuit of one's career, or becoming a lawyer for those who've been falsely accused of crimes in the workplace, or something like that. That could be a way to work with this energy. Like I would only recommend self-employment if you have a behind the scenes role where there's a different figurehead or someone else in the public position and you're working behind the scenes. I would not recommend self-employment if it needs to be your face or you need to be the figurehead of it. You may have success selling physical objects and making it about the objects. It's hard. Like a lot of affliction in the 10th house is hard because that's the most public place in the chart. I mean, it's literally where people look at us, like it's literally where we're seen. There's no doubt whatsoever that this is a difficult position. The main key thing that we all need to know about our lot of affliction is acceptance, especially if you've worked really hard to solve the problem, like in practical ways. We kind of have to accept this is my God-given affliction as best as I know at this time. And that's not a reason to perform poorly. I feel we should still follow rules. We should still do the very best in that area of life that we can, but we need to understand that despite doing our best, like the results may not be the best. And another person could do exactly what we're doing in the area where we have our lot of affliction, and that person could like totally rise to the top and experience maximal abundance and success. We do the same thing and the results are poor. I'm very sorry to have to report all of this, but I do hope somehow it helps. If you watch one of my videos and you have an interesting question that other people could learn from, your question may be answered in a video like this. Also, I'm happy to report that in 2024, I am going to be making weekly videos that'll be published on the same day every week. Linked below in a pinned comment will be my poll. Please vote in the poll as to which day you would like to be your special day to receive my videos. Thank you so much to the person who posted this question. Thank you to all of you who are watching. Happy New Year, many blessings, and namaste. Bye.